Mr. Brooks, it looks like you filed this case. Tell me what's going on.
Well, actually, I'm here today because I really feel like my counterpart here, my co-parent, she is intentionally working just to not even pay or help out in child support. I am a full-time father. I'm also a full-time employee, and I don't get as much money on a week-to-week basis. And I'm really looking for just a little help or support in what we created together. And it seems like she's kind of trying to run out on her responsibility in this with me, and I don't think that's fair.
What do you mean she's trying to run out on her responsibility? What do you mean by that?
Meaning trying to dodge the fact of, getting this child support, or being able to pay something to help me out.
Have you ever asked her, ma'am, you'll have your opportunity to speak. Have you ever asked her to pay child support? Or give you some money for the child?
Exactly. I've asked her to help out with some of the expenses that our child occurs throughout, even like a regular school year, or to maybe go attend different events, but.
What type of expenses are you speaking about?
Well, I'm speaking of expenses maybe like as far as childcare, all right? Tuition, because I prefer that our child gets maybe a better education other than maybe what the public system will provide. And so I'm looking for just a little help on her behalf, this is something we created.
Okay, ma'am, what he's asking for is not unreasonable. You're not willing to do that?
Your Honor, it is unreasonable.
How is it unreasonable?
He knows I'm disabled, for one.
What is your disability?
I hurt my leg.
Okay.
And so I'm not able to work as I would like to, and he knows that. He knows that.
You are aware, though, that in the state of Texas, you can be ordered to pay child support and the money comes directly out of your disability check.
I did not know that, Your Honor.
Yes, that's why you're here today, for me to inform you of that.
Well, I don't think that's right. Because
Wait a minute, ma'am. But you think it's right for him to pay all of the expenses for the child every month?
Your Honor.
You answer my question. Do you think that's right?
No, Your Honor, but he's doing this because I stopped messing with him. I go over
What do you mean by stop messing with him?
I still go over to his house and we still mess around. And I just decided to cut it off because my leg has been killing me.
I mean, it don't make no sense you bringing that up here.
Well, you trying to bring me to court. You should have thought about that.
You all will address me.
Sorry, Your Honor.
You will not address each other.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
You all's rendezvous, that has nothing to do with this court proceeding and why we're here, okay? We're here to talk about money. Ma'am, that is a different court, okay? That's not, we're in support court. We're talking about child support here.
Okay.
And according to what has been presented to me so far, the child lives with Mr. Brooks, is that correct?
I would really say us, but he lives in his home, yes.
The child lives with Mr. Brooks, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Brooks, you are not receiving any type of child support, is that correct?
I'm receiving nothing from her at all.
Okay.
Nothing.
Ma'am, how many children do you have?
I have one with him, and then I have 2 others.
Okay, so you have a total of 3. And how much money do you make a year?
Well, I don't make any now since I hurt my leg off the pole.
What pole are you referring to? Did you run into a pole?
No, ma'am. I was working at Dallas Gentleman's, and he knows that. And he knows that's why I hurt my leg. And so he's been helping me.
Wait a minute. What is Dallas Gentleman's?
A strip club.
So you were working in the strip club, so you got injured on that pole?
On that pole, and he knows it. And he forced me to work there.
And you're collecting a disability check from falling off the stripper pole?
Off the stripper pole.
Okay, that's the first.
But that's why we don't have a relationship now.
But that's not what you said the other day.
Excuse me.
Sorry,
Excuse me.
Sorry.
What do you mean by that's why you all don't have a relationship now?
Because she's spending all her time up there working on the pole for money, but this is money that she.
But you know what, sir?
Kids.
And you may not necessarily agree with her choice of work, living. But she is making some type of money. And ma'am, you are going to pay child support.
How much?
You're going to pay child support. How much were you working when you were on the pole?
How much I was getting?
Yes.
I mean, I was getting close to about a night or a year.
Based on the documents that you turned in with your 1099s, you were making about $65,000 a year.
What?
He knew.
These documents are accurate, correct?
They're pretty much accurate.
Even whether he knew or not, you were making money and you're not supporting.
I am supporting,
children.
but I will say he does a lot. He does most of it because I am hurt and he knows that. So he's been pretty nice about that until now.
What do you mean he's been pretty nice until now?
I mean, until now, like I guess since I was, unfortunately still
with that again.
letting him, come over
Sir,
and have rendezvous.
you will have your opportunity to speak. Let her speak.
Thank you.
And I do not need you
Yes,
to
Your Honor.
echo me.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now address me. What were you saying?
We would have our rendezvous, and he was fine and dandy. Fine and dandy. We've been doing this for 5 years. 5 years. He knows I've been stripping. And all of a sudden, he wants to pull me into court now because I stopped last week. So all of a sudden, now we're on the court docket to come into court because
Ma'am.
you want child support because I
Ma'am,
stopped giving it up.
You really need to address me as I've asked you.
Sorry,
I've asked you
Your
that
Honor. I do apologize.
more than once.
I do apologize.
Don't apologize. Just do it. Okay. Okay, ma'am, your testimony is conflicting with the documents that you provided to the court ahead of time. You testified that you have 3 children and 1 child between the 2 of you, but according to your paperwork, you have a 4th child.
What?
Yes, Your Honor.
You didn't know she had another child?
Your Honor, I had no clue.
You were not going to tell this man that you have another child? Your child has another sibling. You don't believe that's important?
It's more than a sibling, but it's someone he knows, so I just don't think it's important for him to know.
I am not about to play these games with you. You save those games for your old job on the pole, okay? This is a serious matter. You need to be paying child support to this man, okay? Now, based on, you said you received disability, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
How much do you receive in disability a month?
Only $1,200.
Only? He's not getting anything from you. What do you mean only?
He's getting a lot from me, but okay.
Financially, he's not getting anything from you to support this child, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Based on my calculations, at $1,200 a month, puts you about $14,000 or so a year. So, giving you credit for the other children you have, your child support obligation comes out to $163.20. Who covers medical insurance for this child?
Anthony is currently on Medicaid.
Medicaid, okay. So, ma'am, considering you are the one that is going to be responsible for child support, you're also going to be responsible for the health insurance. That money has to be repaid back to Medicaid. It's a state agency. You have to pay it back. Therefore, based on what your gross and taking 9% of that, which is what you would be responsible for health insurance, it comes out to about $108. So your total monthly obligation is $271.20. That is to be paid on the 1st of each month, and it will be paid directly to him. Child support obligation and the Medicaid coverage. You understand, ma'am? Because you're looking very confused right now, and I'm confused as to why you haven't been giving him any money to support this child.
Because I've been giving him other things, Your Honor, and
What other type of things are you talking about that he gets from you?
Can you tell her what I give you, please?
I'm asking you.
Your Honor, I give him lap dances. I give him
Oh,
everything
okay.
you can
See,
think of.
that's too much. That's too much. I'm referring to anything that you give him for the child. Based on what you all do behind closed doors, your little secret rendezvous you have going on, that has nothing to do with in here. Financially, what else have you been giving him to take care of this child?
I give him about $20 every other week.
$20 every other week. Sir,
Ma'am. You're on.
about how much does it cost you a month in expenses for this child?
When you consider daycare is $115 a week, just to make sure she's getting a quality education, along with the expenses of clothes, food, entertainment, things like that. I would probably put another $100 or so on that.
There's no way he can live and take care of this child off of $20, ma'am. Your child requires more than $20. So, monthly obligation, $271.20 to be paid to dad. Mr. Brooks, do you have anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. Now, once she's healed from, her injury, she'll be back to making more money.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so is that something that can be considered or?
Oh, definitely. It can be considered. And ma'am, that's actually a very good question. If you go back to the poll and you make another $65,000, and this man comes back for an increase in child support, I can't entertain that. Yes, don't look confused. I can entertain that. As you get an increase, your child also gets an increase. Is there anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Your Honor, how am I supposed to be able to afford this?
I don't know. Let's see. Maybe you can pick up another job.
That's all I know how to do.
Is what? Hit the pole?
Hit the pole.
Well, you might want to find another pole job. Anything further?
That'll be all, Your Honor.
Okay. If nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Okay. Miss Katrina, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, our son Caleb James, he just turned 8, and he started school, and already he started having school issues in school. He's been getting into fights with other kids. He's been arguing with the teachers. He's not been doing his homework, and this is completely new behavior. He was an A and a B student, and now his grades are also dropping. And I think it has to do with what Bubba here is doing at home.
Okay. Well, what is Bubba doing at home?
So he's a truck driver, and during our marriage, there were a lot of issues with that. A lot of, strange women, just a lot of alcohol use, and I think that hasn't stopped. And now I think that that's affecting Caleb.
I don't think so.
Excuse me, sir. Once it is your turn, I will come to you. That's the first thing. Second thing, those loud outbursts, they will not be tolerated. Continue.
Thank you. So during the marriage, there were a lot of issues with infidelity, with drug use, with alcohol use, and he's still doing the same job. He's still driving the same routes. And so I think he's still bringing these same people into Caleb's life, into his home with our son.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, is there anything else you wanted me to know before I move over to him?
I don't know.
Okay. Can I call you Bubba?
Sure.
Bubba, is what she's saying true? You cheated on her, you're using drugs, you're drinking alcohol, you're doing all of this while you're transporting things in an 18-wheeler?
No. I actually work 1 week on, 1 week off.
Okay.
So we have shared custody. So
All right.
the week that I work, she has custody of Caleb.
Okay.
The week I have off, I have custody of Caleb.
All right.
Now, some of the things she's saying, yes, I do drink sometimes,
Are you drinking while you're driving that 18-wheeler?
I do not drink while I drive, no.
All right.
I drink occasionally when I'm home. It's not too bad, but with...
Well, where would she be getting that from?
Well, I have a lot of female clients that I do transport for. So she thinks that I'm, getting these jobs because I'm sleeping around, which she's very promiscuous herself, so...
Oh.
Yes. Caleb has told me that she has brought in a lot of men around him, and he doesn't know who they are.
Okay. So Caleb is just seeing a lot from the both of you, sounds like.
Maybe not.
Okay. And Caleb, he's 8. Who pays health insurance for Caleb?
I do.
All right. How much do you pay?
$75 a month.
Okay. And Miss Katrina, you're looking for him to pay child support?
I am.
Based on what?
So when COVID hit, I lost my job, and I just haven't been able to find a comparable job to that. And I was doing engineering.
And you can't find anything comparable during COVID?
No.
In engineering?
No. So my degree was in chemical engineering.
Okay.
But all the jobs I've been finding have been mechanical engineering, electrical engineering. I haven't found something that's comparable to what I've been doing.
Okay. I don't know much about engineering, but how much more different is it?
I think it's pretty different.
You think, but how different is it?
I don't know, because I haven't done mechanical engineering or electrical engineering, so I don't have a basis to compare the two.
What do you think about that?
I just think she's lazy.
Oh, well, you said it.
Because with her, she has a degree in engineering. Chemical engineering.
Wait a minute, stop right there. You have a degree in engineering.
Yes, that's how I got my job in chemical engineering.
Right. So you can't do a general engineering job with that degree?
It's not comparable to what I was doing.
That wasn't my question. Have you looked for jobs that will pay you for general engineering?
Yes.
All right. How many interviews have you gone on?
3 or 4 in the last 6 months.
3 or 4 in the last 6 months, and they all said no to hiring you?
Yes.
That's interesting. I saw you signal over here. You said 0? Mm-hmm. How do you know, sir, that she hasn't gone on any of these job interviews?
I have a friend that she knows, and he's told me
Oh.
because he's been sleeping with her.
Oh, okay. Well, that's none of my business. Has nothing to do with me. Miss Katrina, I haven't heard a single reason why I should place this man on child support. He testified and said that he works 1 week on, 1 week off. He has Caleb during his week off. He pays health insurance. You have Caleb, I'm assuming, well, not an assumption, what he said, that when he's on, you have Caleb. I'm assuming all of that's the truth, right?
Yeah, we do have that 1 week on, 1 week off, but with these behaviors that Caleb's having, it's just, he needs treatment, he needs help, he needs counseling, he needs something to help.
And I don't disagree with you there. I do believe that if he is having behavioral issues and everything like that, maybe seek some type of therapy, play therapy maybe, individual counseling, maybe you all could do family counseling, but that is not a legitimate reason to place this man on child support. So I'm going to deny your request today to place him on child support. And in addition to denying that request, that $75 that he's paying, I'm going to have you split it. Since you share custody, you need to share costs too. So $37.50 is what you will be reimbursing him for health insurance every month. Okay. Is there anything further?
No.
Is there anything further, sir?
No, ma'am.
Okay, well, if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Smith, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, good morning. I come here today to try to get his child support raised.
Okay.
We have one child, and I believe that he has some income that he's actually not reporting. We kind of try to make it work not too long ago, and when I was at his house, I found a bunch of pornographic movies.
What do you mean make it work?
We've been separated for a long time. Our son's 11.
Okay.
But we kind of got back together, and he has a bunch of like pornographic movies in his house.
I'm afraid you're going to stab yourself in the eye with that thing.
Sorry.
I just don't want you to do that.
He's the main character on the movies with all these different women. And he is saying that he's, that I can't be mad at him. It's not cheating if he's making porn. And some of them are in our bed. And I said, well, it doesn't work like that. You can't, just because you're filming doesn't mean it's not cheating. Mm-hmm. And I said, you have to be getting paid for it to actually be a porn star. And he said he was getting paid for them. And there's tons of them. So I feel like.
So you believe he's getting paid from that?
Mm-hmm. And plus, his business, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's almost close to 100,000, give or take, like maybe 10 to 15.
Okay.
So I feel like I get a measly $600 a month from him. I feel like
so
something's
that's how
not
much
right.
his child support is
Currently.
set at right now?
Yes.
Okay.
We went through mediation at the child support office.
Yeah.
So, but that was, you know, he's
How long ago was that?
He's 11, and I guess 10 years ago.
Oh yeah,
he was little.
that has been a while. You've been way overdue for a modification for a number of reasons. So about this income, is what she's saying true? Does it include that?
Well, it's payment in one way or another.
Is a yes or no?
No, ma'am, I'm not getting paid technically.
So that means you're lying and
So
you're
you're
cheating
doing it
on
for
me.
free? Well, you know what? Never mind. That's not my business. I'm sorry. That's not my business. So your business, where you do make the money, she's talking about the $100,000. Do you make $100,000?
No, ma'am, I have 85 to 90,000 on the high end on a good year.
Okay. All right. What is it that you do?
I'm a mechanic.
Mechanic. Okay. All right. So you said 90 on the high end.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Your Honor, is there any way that we could subpoena his financial records for the porn thing?
Well, you can. I'm not going to do a subpoena on anything like that. I don't want to see it. Yeah. You can do that though. Yeah. If it exists, you can do that. But subpoenas aren't free. So I hope you know exactly what it is that you're looking for.
Well, there's so many of them, and he told me that he's getting paid for them, and there's like thousands, not hundreds,
Okay.
thousands of DVDs with him in there on our bed.
I'll tell you what, once you find some sort of income, some paper trail that shows that, then if you were to bring it back in court, we could entertain it then. But as of today, unless you have some sort of proof that shows that he has income from that, and unless he tells me otherwise, I can't really go off of that. I can only go off of what he told me. And he said 90,000 on the high end. I think you're in pretty good shape. What do you do for a living?
I don't work. I take care of our kid.
So you're a stay-at-home mom? Mm-hmm. And she's 11?
He is.
He is
yeah.
11?
Uh-huh.
He goes to school?
He does.
So what do you do during the day?
Nothing.
You don't want to work?
No.
So you're just living off of his child support?
I am. And we live with our mother.
And you're proud of that?
Well, we were living with him, and I was a stay-at-home mom. He made the income.
Okay.
But, I mean,
But you can work now, right?
I can, but
So it's no but you can go get a job, right?
I could, but I'm not going to. My rent's free. My food is free. I mean, my mom's a homeowner. We don't have to pay nothing.
Okay. I'm not going to go there with you today because you can, obviously you're able to work.
I'm able, but I
And
don't
you
want to.
should work, but again, that has nothing to do with me today. What we're going to do is talk about the modification of these numbers, all right? So your income has increased. It's increased about almost $400. So based on you saying that you receive about 90,000 on the high end, it
Yes,
brings
ma'am.
your gross to about $7,500, which your net is $5,465.22. That would bring, health insurance. Who covers health insurance?
I do.
And how much is that?
It's 110 a month.
Okay, 110. So what I'm going to do is give you credit actually for the health insurance coverage for the child. So that will slightly bring your child support down. And
Down?
monthly, yes, slightly. It's still expensive. $1,093 a month is what he would pay in child support.
That's it?
That's it. Well, it would be more if you get a job.
He would pay more if I got a job?
No, it would be more for the child if you got a job.
Your Honor,
Ma'am, no.
You don't
no,
understand.
No, you don't understand. I'm basing his child support increase off of what it is that he makes. Nothing
He
more.
makes more than
nothing-
that.
Until you bring me something in here to show me that, that's what I'm going to base it off of.
Your Honor-
And again, you can work.
Can I say
suggest-
something?
No,
Please.
ma'am. Only thing I need you to say is, Miss Vonda B, I'm going to go find me a job. That's all I want to hear. If it's anything else other than that, I'm not entertaining it. Pertaining to what I just said, do you have any questions?
I will go look for a job. But please,
Great.
please hear me out on one thing.
What is
One
it?
thing.
Make it quick.
I promise you I'll make it quick. Let's say that you have a battery-operated vibrator.
You know what?
What?
We're done
Yeah.
right there. We're done. Is there anything further
You're
from
about
you,
to
sir?
climax.
Okay. Well,
The
ma'am-
batteries go out.
Okay, thanks.
That's him.
Okay, great. Let me tell you what we're going to do. You all are done, and if there's nothing further, you all are dismissed. Thank you.